My check. All right, we live, baby. I got my notes too. We're gonna start out with an activation. So the wind got a little loud. All right, I'll speak up. All right, so we'll start out with this activation. I am facing the camera. I speak up. All right, we're gonna start out with some activation. So close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Now repeat after me. I am the standard. I am the standard. I am the standard. Now you can set an intention for the day. That this is not just a regular seminar. This is a rite of passage. It's a truth. So your intention might be to be present, to be aware, or just to take something with you that you can use today. That's my goal. So set your intention. And we're gonna hop into the lesson. Woo! You don't need to see the board, but I'll highlight that boy. So today's lesson is, put that down. Today's lesson is the power of making the decision. You see, most of the time, we want to do things. We have this desire to do things, to change, to grow, to heal. But it's something in between that. It's like an invisible barrier. It's an invisible barrier between the action and the intention. And that invisible barrier is called a decision. You have all the power. That's why it's called the power of a decision. So I'm gonna start with my personal story to highlight, how I got to where I'm at right now. And before you ask, what have you done and how much success is, let them tell you what they've done. Let them scream. Look at what I've done. For me, I'm a whisper. Look at who I've become. And that's gold, baby. All gold. I'm gonna help you. So my personal story. Long story short, because we are on the timer. Let me set my timer. Boom. I always wanted to do more into my business, my how do I want to frame this? I should have thought about it more, but I'm gonna let it flow, okay? The decision that I made to become gold all the way around, to turn the lead of my character, my insecurities, my doubt, my fear, my lack, into the truth of who I am, that decision had to come from deep within myself. I was smoking hella weed. I was smoking hella weed, and I was seeking more, but there was a disconnect. I knew that I was destined for more. My purpose was greater, but I also knew that I was doing things to hold myself back. Primarily the weed, but not only the weed. It was thought patterns, it was thought loops, negative habits, being reactive, eating poor food all the time. Most of the time, I probably ate majority pretty good actually. But my potential was being squandered. It was being squandered. So I had to make the decision, and I realized though, so it takes self awareness. We won't discount self awareness, right? But I realized that in order for me to reach my full potential, I have to put the weed down. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. Now, the weed is an interesting thing because it messes with your willpower. It messes with your psychology. So I know you don't smoke anymore, baby, but you know, I'm recording this for YouTube. So for the people in the back of the classroom and still smoking weed, realize that you are not your full self. You're about 50%, if that. You're about 50%. And the reason why you can't make the decision in anything is because you haven't put that down first. You don't even have your full willpower. Because in order to make a decision, you must have willpower. You are the master of yourself. But if you're living life on 50% of your capacity, there's no way you're going to win. So what I had to do is I had to slowly but surely start to detach myself from it. I made a decision. It wasn't a big one. It was a small one. I won't smoke in the morning. After a couple failed attempts, I did it. And then it was, I won't smoke at lunch. And then it was, I won't smoke throughout the workday. Then it was, I won't smoke till late. Until it became my final pivotal point of transformation. When I decided that my potential far outseeded any temporary benefit that I got from smoking the weed. Now, you might not smoke weed. Your decision might be to start a business. Your decision might be to heal from something that you know keeps popping up in your life. Your decision might be to be a better parent. Whatever your decision may be. Know that you have to sacrifice your temporary feelings of, let's say, comfort. Okay, your temporary feelings of comfort for what is greater on the other side. That's transmutation. That's being the alchemist, baby. From lead to gold. So again, I won't harp on it too long, but not only was it the weed, but it was to be my full, true self. You know that the Most High created you to be perfect, to be full, to be love, joy, peace. The Most High created you with full intention of your greatness. But you have to seek that within yourself. And it just has to pull you more than what's keeping you stuck. Until eventually you realize that it wasn't really a decision you had to make. It was only a change of attention you had to take. A change of direction. Because you have the power. And I realized that I had the power. And I stopped settling. You know? I'm writing a book called Mindset 2.0. It's almost done. Dedicated to the masters. And the tagline is, it's time to raise your standards. Because until you raise your standards, you will not make the decision. Until you raise your standards, you will not make the decision to change anything in your life. You're going to keep going back. You're going to keep going back. You're going to keep going back. So I made the decision that I would no longer smoke weed because that version of me was not full. I watched the video on it too. It helped. So I did watch a lot of videos to kind of saturate my mind with it. I would be lying if I said I did it on my own. But ultimately, no matter how much information and videos I watched, I had to come face to face with the mirror and say, is this worth whatever it may be? Is this worth my potential? Is this worth my truth? Is it worth the fullness of who the Creator made me to be? Will He be proud of me? The answer was no. That's the truth. No problem. I'm still going, and the replay is going to be on YouTube. I was just talking about making that decision and what it takes to make the decision. It's raising your standards. You have to raise your standards. If you don't raise your standards, then you're going to keep falling back down. And as you raise your standards, your self-image change, your self-worth changes, and then it's permanent. You won't go back. You won't go back. So that's my personal story on what it really took for me to change. And I had to look within myself and pull up the wheel, okay? I had to slowly chop away the weed to gain more willpower, more concentration, until I had enough energy cultivated to transmute it fully. I transmuted it from lack to fullness, from distraction and cloudiness to clarity and purpose. You see, the transmutation of energy is real. That's why it's called from lead to gold. All right, let's break it down. Number one, the myth of motivation. And you can, what's up, Dom? Salute. Thanks for popping in, bro. This is about the power of decision. So I hope you get something from this, man. I've been going on for a little bit. I just gave a personal background story, but you came right on time for the lesson. So we don't get into it. If you want to leave a remark, I'm watching. Thanks for coming, bro. Hope you're all right. So number one, the myth of motivation. Motivation is not real. You might get a burst of energy of, ooh, I'll go do it now. But if it's not rooted in your identity, you're not going to be able to sustain it. Hold up, bro. You're not going to be able to sustain it. Therefore, motivation is a myth. It's energy that you get from the outside, but that energy is not your energy. It won't be enough to fill the void in your heart. Only the Most High can do that. What you need is a decision. What will you do? Will you go left? Will you go right? As an example, will you put the weed down and pursue your potential? That's pretty clear. It's pretty direct. It's pretty direct. Now, you might have a lot of reasons why you might want to eat healthier, work out more, read more books, be better, right? You might have a reason. I was once taught that you must have a strong enough why. That's only partially true. You can have a strong why and still fall short. Why? Because it's your self-image. You don't see yourself as being worthy, but the Most High does. You don't see yourself as capable, but guess what? You have the power. You are capable. So it's a myth of motivation. You don't even need it. You are the master of yourself. If you want to put it down, put it down. If you want to pick it up. Whatever it may be. And know that your challenges, your situations, life situations, are not there to break you. They're there to mold you. They're there to cultivate the gold within. So don't let it break you. Let it refine you. Number two, decision versus desire. Now, I touched on this already. We're going to dive a little deeper. If you have a desire to change, and can you guys put in the comments if you have any desire that you would like to change, and we can break that down, more directly. But for now, I'm just going off of examples, okay? So if you have a desire, for instance, to eat healthier, and you think about, oh, if I ate healthier, my body would look better, I'll feel healthier, I'll be stronger, I'll have more energy. But you're just fantasizing about it in your head. And then the moment comes when you eat, and it's not what you visualize in your mind. So now you're going back and forth with yourself. And then you may even condemn yourself, beat yourself up. Like, I shouldn't have ate that. I shouldn't have did that. This desire must be cultivated into a process, okay? It's not enough to just have desire. That's just the fuel. The desire is the fuel, okay? It's a spark. It's a spark. To ignite it, to make it explode, you have to concentrate. That's why we're going back to the willpower, okay? You have to concentrate. And then once you concentrate on that desire, you choose. It's literally a choice, guys. I don't know how clearly I can say it. In your mind, you have a choice every single moment. The question is, what will you do this time? Okay, yesterday you failed. Cool. Last week you didn't make it. Okay. Last month you didn't follow through. That doesn't matter. What will you do today? What will you do today to make sure tomorrow is in alignment? And when the moment comes, whatever it may be, it could be the weed, it could be the food, it could be the workout, it could be the sex, it could be the alcohol, it could be the distraction, too much TV. You take a breath in presence, and you ask yourself, what would the 2.0 version of me do? And you already know the answer to that one, baby. You already know. You go for the gold. And then that over time is going to refine you. That's how you make the decision. So again, the desire is the fuel, but the decision is the ignition. And you might fall short, but over and over and over again, as you chip away, you just keep chipping away, you're going to gain the upper hand. So where you no longer do what you used to do. And then you start to notice, like, I used to react. Now I don't. I used to skip workouts. Now I don't. I used to eat, let's say, pizza. If I eat pizza now, it's without cheese. Not messing with that. But in the totality of it, I used to eat meat. Don't do it anymore. Why? Because knowledge plus intention, which is the desire, right? Intention, desire, will lead you to a decision. And that changes everything. Number 3, the law of cause and effect. Woo! I love this law, guys. I really do. So this one is in, and put a heart in. Give me a heart. Give me a light if you're feeling what I'm talking about. Okay, let me know. So, chapter 3 in my book, Mindset 2.0, breaks down the ancient law of cause and effect. This law states that for every effect, there is a cause. Nothing is random. There are no coincidences. And you, my friend, is always the cause. I'm about to move to the side. Hold up. If you have any questions, pop them up too. I'll take a break after this one and see where we at. But you're the cause. Subconsciously or consciously, it's just an energetic loop that's playing over in your life. That energetic loop creates your identity, which creates your outcomes. Okay? This is all about identity alchemy. I'm the master of this one. We can go a little deeper on the law of cause and effect, okay? If you are doing things that are out of alignment with your 2.0 version of yourself, or your higher version of yourself, which is your true self, right? Your true self. If you're doing things out of alignment, you're going to get out of alignment results. Period. If you're not working out consistently and challenging your body and eating more in alignment, I'm not even saying do 120% of eating clean. I'm only saying at least 80-85%. At least 80-85%. You don't have to eat clean and work out 5-6 days out the week if you want to see results, because that's the effect. Now, if you're in an energetic position, which is where you're currently at, and it's not who or what you want to be, it's going to take some time to change. It's going to take some time for the cause to be visible. For the effect to be visible. But as you keep stacking wins day in, day out, brick by brick, let me know if you're feeling me. Put a like, put a heart, comment, let me know. It's brick by brick momentum that's going to change. You cannot fold in the process. That's where the faith comes in. But nevertheless, even if you don't have the faith, you are the cause. So that comes back to the responsibility. The responsibility of accepting that you are the creator, that you have the power, and you can make a different decision today. Even if yesterday, man, even if yesterday you just did all the wrong things. You even cussed your girl out. You ate poor food. You smoked all the weed you had. That's fine. You must love and forgive yourself, but accept the consequences. Because for every effect, there is a cause. Okay? If you missed that last part, what I was saying, like yesterday could have been your worst day. And the worst day is not defined by circumstance. Put a heart or a like in there if you still hear me, Dom. You too, baby. A bad day is not circumstance. Get that out your mind. A bad day is your reactions to it. A bad day is how your character is molded. What will you do? That's the question you need to ask yourself when the situation arises. And I played this perfectly. I played it perfectly like the king yesterday. Everything fell apart. Everything got shut down. Nothing was working out. But guess who was working out? You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about character. Character is the currency, not the money. The money's gonna come. But can you stay golden in the process? So yesterday could have been your worst day. Today is a new day. The sun's out. You know, you got a little bit of rest. Got some crit food, whatever. Working on the vision. The vision don't stop. So just ask yourself honestly, even if yesterday was a poor day, what can you do today to make sure that tomorrow will be better? We got one more on this one, guys. We're flowing. We've been flowing on this one. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, Don. I really appreciate you coming in. All right. So this one is the levels of responsibility. Woo! This one's in my book, guys. I'm gonna break it down real quick for you guys. So the levels of responsibility dictate there are 4 major levels of consciousness. This is what dictates your identity, your results, and your emotional state. You cannot override this. Number 1, this is the victim mentality. This is the victim. You have no control. It's the woe is me. Why me, God? Everything's out of place, and you're just a victim to circumstances. Things happen, you react. Someone said something, you react. Money not there, you react. You just keep reacting, and you think that it's not your fault. You think you're not the cause. As I was just explained in the last lesson point, you are the cause because you're the master. This is your reality. Okay? So the victim's hopeless, but there's hope if you make the decision. Number 2, this is the survival mentality. The survival mentality is one level above the victim, but they're still living in lack and limitation. They have yet to take full responsibility. It could be psychologically, it could be physically, it could be subconsciously. Either way, the survivor is just getting by day. And they usually go in loops, I know because I've been there, loops and cycles of addictions, distractions, or just like a lot of self-negative talk. That's the survival mentality. It's just hoping, it's striving, trying to be something. Here's the secret to that one, though. You don't have to be anything more than you are already. You just have to remember that the Most High made you whole and get into alignment. And you know what alignment looks like. I'm not just talking about waking up early, drinking water, working out, reading books. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about alignment with your true self, with purpose, with intention, and with peace. You have the power, guys. So again, the survival is still living in lack. It's a step up, but they haven't taken full responsibility. They're still cussing people out, blaming people. Okay, cool. The next level, this is where more people now in the world are at. They're at the creator level, where they claim that I am the creator of my life. I take responsibility for my results, and I do what is necessary to change. That's a beautiful, beautiful place to be, because now you're putting the power back in your hands. Now you're designing the script. Now you're seeing that cause and effect. Well, if I do and say this, this will happen. My words, oh man, my words have power. My words that I speak over myself, that I speak over my family, that I speak over the people in my life, they matter. And what I put out comes back to me. It comes back to me multiplied, good, bad, or indifferent. So if you're in a creative space, you are starting to take these steps to change your life. And to get to that point, you're going to have to make several decisions. You're going to have to make several decisions to get to that point. And it starts from the first level of the victimhood. And even if you are scattered, like you might be in a creative mentality of responsibility, and you might seep into survival sometimes. But never the victim. The victim seems to be able to be transcended very quickly if you get out of your own way, right? But the creator is still trying to do things for a result. That's the problem. That's the problem. Even the creator that claims that they are responsible for the results, they're trying to make things happen. They're trying to manifest. Hold on, I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I'm gonna wait till it pop in.